Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to this virtual online class of APPA Public School. I am your social science teacher, Paulson Samson. So here today, uh, with the continuing from yesterday, where we left, it's grade 8, chapter number 05, right? It's weavers, iron smelters, weavers, iron smelters, and factory owners. Factory owners, and the date is 23rd of December 2020. Okay, so now these are the last week, right? Okay, so again, today the chat session is also on. So many are sending me good morning wishes. Good morning, sir. Good morning. So everyone, good morning. Okay, so let us summarize what we have learned, what we understood yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we have started with the like this chapter basically deal with the main two industries, that is the textile, and another one is the iron and steel industry, right? So now in India, like the weavers, the weaving is the oldest tradition, right? So we had numerous types of cloths which were prepared in India, and it had a great value, and it has been also been taken away by the foreigners, especially the Europeans, right? So now the very first we have the reference in the ancient time also that the cloth which was made in India or prepared in India is very fine quality and exquisite designs were there, and very finely crafted handcraft works were done on that. So which like also we have read about this, the Queen of England also wore the cloth which were made in India, right? So now again, so some of those types of cloths also we have read from how did they got their name, where it originated, right? The place of the origin we have got, like yesterday you all give some of those name of those dresses, like what type of cloths are available. Someone said cotton, polyester, okay, banadan, weavers, right? Okay, weavers, no, okay, cotton, polyester, nylon, silk, jute, right? You all given the types which the cloths were made, and also like the name of the cloths, like some of those yesterday are given the sari, like the very first sari was ilkal sari, then kanjivaram, banarasi, tanti. Okay, so there are again many sets of the dresses you wear, right? So you have given, and after that we have discussed about the cottons, right? So the very first name we discussed was muslin, the cotton, right? Cotton cloth, muslin. So how it got the name muslin, right? So this first, like the Arab merchants, when they carried this cloth particular to muslin, right? Mosul. So currently the place is in Iraq, right? So there the people started to call them it as Mosul, it being muslin, and then again calico, yes, from the calicut, it was carried by the Portuguese to their motherland, and there they started to call this particular cloth, which cotton cloth, which they carried to their motherland. So they started to call it as calico, and again we have chintz. So it's been referred by the word chint, the Hindi word, and again we have bandana or bandana, yeah, usually refer to tie and dye. It means the cloth usually will be tied and then it will be dyed. It means dye means they may be painted or maybe decorated, or any craft work will be made on that. So for that reason, bandana. So usually it will be a scarf, like scarf they will be wearing it. In Rajasthan, it is still very much familiar. This bandhani, they will call it as bandhani. Bandhana we call him. Okay. So after this, so again after that, so we have come about the trading, like the English or the Britishers, they were carrying those cloths to European market, and the European market was flooded with the Indian cloths. So there was no competition for the Indian cloths. And also I have given yesterday. Okay, so in which year was the Calico Act passed? Can anyone answer? In which year was the Calico Act passed? Alert. In which year was the, okay, Hamsa has given the answer, Shokumar Reddy has given the correct answer. Okay, good. I hope again, once again, I'm repeating, do please carry a notebook and a pen or a pencil to jot down few of those important points, right? So we have got the very first one, Amsa, then Shivakumar, then Gangu Prasad, then Sayyid Ali Sheikh, Shri Guru, Sumit Reddy, Vaishali Dugnur, and Shivakumar Reddy. Yes, you have given the correct answer. Yes. So in the 1720, the Calico Act was passed because there the mill owners or the textile owners there in the Europe, especially in the in England, they started to protest against the importing or sorry export of the goods in England, right? That is from India. So they were opposing, especially all those Indian cloths. So now because they were facing huge losses, so to incur or to overcome those losses, they had protested against the Indian cloths. They went to the government, protested, and yes, the government also agreed. The government of Europe, right? Sorry, England, they agreed with them and they banned this cloth of India, especially chintz cloth. They banned, and it was for the reason the act came to be known as Calico Act, right? So because the popularity or the dress, the cloths which were made in India, and the designs, the floral designs, the finishing, right? So it was very much uncomparable. They can't compete with this. As a result, they protested, and the government too agreed. And the result, the Calico Act was passed, banning the chintz cloth. Okay, so now who were the weavers? Now the next topic is who were the weavers? Who were the weavers? So now weavers, maximum the weaving work usually was done by the women's weavers. Now weavers belong to the communities that specialized in weaving, and maximum of the weaving was done by the women. So now how this cloth was made? So now they used to make the cloth on charkha. Hope so you have seen the charkha, right? Many of you are aware charkha, right? Especially in the year 1931, the Indian National Congress, when they had their flag, in that flag the symbol, right? It was the charkha symbol. Charkha symbol was there in the flag, right? Okay, so now this charkha was rolled. Okay, in that this cotton will become, and then that after spinning those thread will become, and then thread will be rolled in called takli on a particular piece of wood, you can say. So there they will spun those thread in that takli, just like if you are like when you're playing the kite, no, the thread will be rolled to some of those, maybe it may be you'll get the particular cylinder type, right? So that time, and here they will be already on a takli. So then after that takli, right? So it will be sent once the cloth is done, right? So it is for coloring, or for any other purpose thing. So it will be sent to a particular person called rangrez. After takli, when the cloth is made, for to color, rang, you can know the word, Hindi word rang, right? In Kannada, banna, right? So it will be sent to a person for coloring. It is rangrez. It has been mentioned in the textbook also. So also do please kindly read the textbook thoroughly, my dear students. Do not miss that. Okay, after once finish the class. Okay, rangrez. Takli, it will be sent to rangrez for coloring. And also one more important person is there. One more important person. So where it will go for the block printer or printing, printing means everything will be handcrafted only. Handcrafted. It will be chipigars. They are called it as chipigars. Okay, chipigars, specialist for block printers. These are those chipigars. Yes, Sayyid Ali Sheikh, chipigars, right? Chipigars. These are the specialized in block printers. Okay, block printing. So this was in this way. This cloth will be woven, or it is totally handmade, and it is not the machine made, right? So everything artwork which is the craft work they do, it was totally by handwork. Okay, all right. So after this, Next comes the decline of the Indian textiles. Decline of the Indian textiles. So how this Indian textile industry started to decline? Okay, so now the very first reason, it was fierce and tough competition. Tough competition by the Britain or the England. Okay, so good morning. Just now someone has entered. Shivkumar Ji Patil. All right. Okay, the development of cotton industries in Britain affected textile production in India in many ways. So now here one important invention was done, right? So there was the people of Europe, or especially the England, they wanted an alternative solution for this Indian dominance in the textile industry. So hence, in the year 1764, a person by the name John Kay, he invented a machine called spinning jenny. So this is a machine in which the cloths are made. Machine. Now it started. The machines have started coming in England. This invention, okay, it was a landmark invention. The invention of spinning jenny. It was invented in the year 1764 by the scientist by the name John Kay. Right, spinning jenny. So now, what this spinning jenny did? It means the amount of work, right? So now usually the Indians used to do the handcraft work, but whereas here in England they started with the machines. So now with this machine, the time limit came down, right? Which earlier it was a time consuming to make cloths, but now with this machine, time reduced, and also they have to pay less salary because these people were replaced by machines. The workers were replaced by machines, and yes, manpower was required, but very less manpower required compared to the earlier one before the invention of spinning jenny. And one more landmark invention. It was in the year 1786. So this changed the whole world concept of this industry. Okay, 1786, a scientist by the name Richard Arkwright, Arkwright. What he did, he was the person who invented again steam engine. So please do not forget this. So you may have already, if you are reading the science invention discoveries, so these two names have already been, if you are reading the books, it is right. You may have read 1764 John Kay invented spinning jenny, and 1786 Richard Arkwright invented the steam engine. So these two are the very remarkable inventions in the history of mankind. So which changed the later course of the world. So because of and many industries have started to come up in the 18th century in England. Okay, so as a result, England is called as the workshop of the world. Workshop of the world. So which country is called as the workshop of the world? Which country is called as the workshop of the world? Anyone? Which country is called as the workshop of the world? Just now I have said which country? Okay, Hamsa is very quick. Sudha Patil. Okay. Then next, Syed Ali Sheikh. Good. Britain. Okay. Britain, no issues. Okay. So I'm erasing. So you have made a note of this, right? John Gay, he invented spinning jenny, right? So and later on in the year 1786, Richard Arkwright invented steam engine, which was a remarkable invention in the history of mankind, right? So because of these two reasons, the industries have started to come up more and more in England, right? And also European nations also, right? Okay. So now this was one. So now the competition, tough competitions, these Europeans started to give because of the cheaply comparatively available, and also they are available very, the cloths are made very fast, right? So as a result, so they started to give the tough competition to the Indian cloths. Okay. Now this was the first one, decline of the Indian textiles. The first one is the tough competition. Okay, it's the tough competition. And the next one, let us see competition. And then next one, it's the export of England, Britain. It's the Great Britain they call. They will not call only Britain. They will call the Great Britain. Okay. Export to England very difficult. Okay. So now it is heavy or higher duty tax on Indian goods, Indian goods. Indian goods, especially textiles, you can say. Okay, textiles. So now what happened? What is this heavy duty or higher duty tax? So you may have seen the government of England, right? They were standing with their textile owners. Yes, when they protested against the Indian textiles there, which were exported. So now the government too readily agreed, and also immediately they have banned the chintz cloth there. And after in the 19th century, so now this government too supported. How they supported? They didn't ban directly the entry of Indian clothes into their market. Instead, they have put on heavy duty tax. It means if a good which has been sent from India, a textile which has been sent from India to England, if they want to sell in England, they have to pay a tax to the government of England. It means suppose if earlier without a small, it was tax was very earlier, it was very small, but after those industrial revolution, so now they started imposing heavy duty taxes on the Indian textiles, So suppose if earlier, if the rate was 100 rupees, okay, if the price of the particular cloth was 100 rupees, after imposing a duty, means a tax of 50 rupees, it went all of a sudden to higher. It means 50% more. So now when this was paid, it means the person who was earning a profit, his profit was reduced, because 50 rupees tax in this 100 rupees, he has to pay 50 rupees to the government as a duty paid tax. As a result, the cost of this particular cloth went up high, right? So this was also one of the strategy where this British government started to support their textile owners. Okay, so and now because of this industrialization, also many have mills have come up there, and the cotton cloths which were made in England, right? So they gradually started to uh, around this Europe or also Africa or also America. Slowly and slowly they started to compete with the Indians. Here the government did support, but whereas in India we didn't had a government, because the Britishers were ruling us, and anything which was against them, so it was not accepted by them. Okay, so here the government supported their own European textile owners, right? So this was one of the reason, the decline of the Indian textile started. Okay, and now the next one is the third one. Okay, so England, what is that? Bargo, the baby tiger. Good. Okay, England made cotton textiles successfully ousted Indian goods for the traditional markets in Africa, America, and as well as Europe. Right. So now the cloths which were made in England, so they started to capture the markets, the traditional market, because Africa was under the Britishers only, right, and some part of US also, America also. So now they started to manufacture the cloths and they are starting to send it to other countries, and those markets were also flooded by the uh, Britain, England cloths, right? Especially Africa. Ousted, it means tough constitution, or it has been removed. Ousted in Africa, it means Indian cotton textile. Indian cotton, ousted, to be thrown out. Africa, America, as well as Europe. The reason, or Europe. All right. So then the next one, we have the unemployment. We have the unemployment. How, what is unemployment, from where did this come? Okay. So as a result of this industrialization and the quantity, right, the cloth which was prepared in India was a time consuming, whereas in England it was not at all time consuming, and the production was much more in England rather than comparing the handcraft work which was done by the Indian weavers. Okay, so with this, like the unemployment rate grew in India, right? So now, when this heavy duty was imposed on Indian goods, and also because of that, the Indian textiles were ousted in the parts of Africa, America. So now the demand of the cotton textile, of the textiles of India in the Europe market reduced. It was reduced. As a result, the families who were totally involved in the weaving, they had a big impact, because they are not getting any orders to be supplied, nor they were getting any advances from the agent who used to give them advances to prepare the cloth and ready and to ship them to England. So this was also one of the reasons the unemployment increased in India. Okay, then the next one, see, this was the all about the decline of Indian textiles. Decline of Indian textiles. So now again here the one more thing is the fifth point, we can take it as agents. Agents no longer giving advances. Okay, so now one of the reason, so to prepare those the cloths which they wanted, the agents used to, earlier they used to give the weavers some amount as the advance to make the order ready. Okay, so now after this, all these cases, now the agents also, they were no longer giving any advances to the weavers. This was also one of the reasons for the decline of Indian textiles. Agents no longer giving advances. Anurag Visalji, right? Okay, this was also one of the reasons for the decline of Indian textiles, right? Okay, then next, again in the year 1830s. So this was also one of the reason. See, in the year 1830s, the cloths, especially British cloths, flooded Indian market. This was also one of the reason of which began for the reason for the decline of the Indian textile. So now here, see, earlier the clothes from India were exported to England. But right now, in the 1830s, and because of the industrial revolution, now it has bounced back, it has reversed. So now the cloths started to come from England to India. So now, what is the difference or how it occurred? Now, these cloths which were made in England, right? So they were of very cheaply available, you can say, very cheaply available. So it have for this reason, it has flooded the Indian market, and also one of the reason because it was not so much time consuming. For example, if I can go for a two shops, okay, one is a shop A, one is shop B. Okay, so now here shop A, if I go and give an order, he will prepare it in a day, one day. But whereas if I go to shop B, he will take 3 days to prepare the order, right? Prepare the cloth, particular cloth which we need. So now, which one you all choose? Will you choose A or B? Yes, can anyone answer? Which one you will choose? You will choose A or B? 1 day timing and 3 day timing. 3 days, the timing, the duration. Which one? Hamsa give A. Okay. Guru Prasad Kanni also gave A. Guru again still. Gangu Prasad Kanni, sorry. Gangu Prasad Kanni also gave A. Right. Good. Sharno Balagno Rafzalpur, okay. Isaji. Shiv Kumar, right. Okay. So why? Because it is not time consumed, whereas the B is time consumed. And also when compared to the price, this price is also low. But whereas it is somewhat slightly higher. It was slightly higher than this. So because of this competition, so we call this tough competition, was the reason for the decline of the Indian textiles, right? So this is also one of the reason. So now to support these weavers, right? So now as there was a decline, so I hope you have all jotted down these points, right? Yes or no? Price is low than B. Okay, right? So one of the reason Gandhiji supported are Indian weavers. Gandhiji, as I said earlier also, okay, when the INC, Indian National Congress, in the 1931, in the year 1931, the Indian National Congress flag had a symbol of charaka, as the symbol of charaka in it, to support the Swadeshi movement or the Desi movement, or to support the weavers, right? So he has made this the charaka on the Indian National Congress. So it's the nationalist movement which already started, and they supported our own India's weavers. So now again, so what happened after 1830? So did it end the whole? Did the Indian textiles decline? No. Again, it had some of those unique points or the uniqueness of those cloths, which still had not in the much larger extent, but in some extent still it was there. So now one more important. So now because of this, when the industrial revolution began, when the industrial revolution began, right? So it was the Indians also started like mostly in the part of the Western Ghats, sorry, Western India. Now again, okay. So now in the year 1854, the first cotton mill of first cotton mill. This is first, not I. Okay, we'll make it first only. In the year 1854, the first cotton mill was set up in Mumbai. It's Bombay. Earlier it was called Bombay. Rightly they called it Mumbai. In the textbook it is mentioned as Bombay only. Okay. 1854, the first cotton mill of India was set up in Mumbai, Bombay. Right. So now, what is the reason why they set up in Bombay itself? Because of, see, the major raw material for the production of this cotton cloth is the cotton. Cotton, right? So now for the cotton, I hope you have studied, right, about the conditions, the weather, temperature required for the growth of the cotton and jute. I hope you have read in geography, right? So now this first cotton mill, because of the, it has major area. Good. First cotton mill set up in Mumbai. Okay. 1854, we had the first cotton mill set up. Visaji, 1854. Okay, right. So now this, because of the favorable conditions, see, and also black soil is the very most important to grow this, and also the temperature, the humidity, right? So it has got some of those frost-free days which requires for the growth of, and this cotton is the major raw material required for the production of this cloth, right? So, and also about the skilled workers, right, to prepare those cloths, so they need skilled, yes, that skilled workers were also available there in Bombay. As a result of this, many, after 1854 again till the about the 1900, we had got up to 1900 in India. There were several mills which were come up in India. So up to 1900 there were 84 mills. There were 84 mills in India, and also after 1854 it was 1861. 1861 in Ahmedabad, right, or Ahmedabad. It was second. What second? It is the second cotton mill of India came up in Ahmedabad. So my dear students, do you know there is in Gulbarga you have got one mill? Dear students, do you know in India also, in Gulbarga also we have one mill? Can anyone tell me the name of the mill? No. Yes, Hamsa gave the correct answer. Yes, it's MSK mill. MSK mill. Yes, good, good. You should know. And also, see, the decline is totally not declined. See, now again we have Solapur. In Solapur also we have the famous cotton cloth which is being prepared, right? So still now it is, we can hear the name like Solapur Chadar, right? You may have heard, yes. MSK mill also there. It was a handloom, right? The cloths were made there. MSK mill, textile industry was it is. So you can check and write some history about that MSK mill. If you can write, it will be very useful, right? I hope anyone can write some a paragraph or an essay or a project on MSK mill will be helpful. Okay, all right. So 1854, the first cotton mill was set up in India, and after that 1861, the second, and later it was Kanpur, and again numerous where the condition was favorable, where the raw material was easily available. There, all those cotton industries have cotton mill have come up in India, right? Okay, so this was up to this. So tomorrow we are going to start up with the next second industry, that is the iron and steel. So till then, goodbye my dear students. Bye bye.